Hey friends of Alderman Farms, Tommy here from Alderman Farms. And just got finished taking a little break. We've had a very busy morning here at Alderman Farms, and we're going to have a busy rest of the day. This morning, let's see, I'm trying to think of what Patty did. Don't misunderstand that. She did more than me. She always does more than me, but I had to go get hay, some hay bales. I'll walk over here and show you what I did this morning. And it was kind of iffy because I took my big tractor. Well, I've got like a I think it's a 32 horsepower tractor, and big car hauler trailer. It got two giant bales of hay from our friend Mr. Sam Laird. And where's the turnaround thing? There it is. And so we got one of these massive bales of hay out over here by the house for the goats. The hay you see in the foreground was nicely compacted inside that hay ring. It had gotten rained. The goats had gotten up on top of it. It was a smaller bale. And so it didn't fill up that whole hay ring like that one does. And so the goats were able to get inside the hay ring and still had room to jump up and get on top of the hay bale. And when goats can get on top of a hay bale, they tear it down. You know, it deteriorates very quickly. Oh good, I keep forgetting I can zoom in. So, again, the hay in the foreground, Patty had the great idea. We are going to, one of the things we have to do, and we're trying to get this done before we have to go to Corey's state tennis tournament this week, is we got to get, I was going to have to gather up enough pine straw to put down between all the rows that we have built and are building. Well, that takes a lot of time, going out in the woods and one load at a time with the Polaris. But Patty said, you know, this hay has been sitting here a while. Why don't we use the hay? And I said, you know what, that's a great idea. So that'll be a huge time saver because it's right next to the garden. And so that will save us a whole lot of time not having to worry about collecting pine straw to put in between the rows. So what I'm about to do, and I'm gonna give you an update on the garden. There is a little bit that has happened since yesterday. I hope the wind's not too bad on this microphone. We're also trying to beat some weather that may be coming in tonight. I don't remember last time I saw what the weather said to do, but let me turn this back around. So I don't know if y'all can remember from all of our previous garden updates, you did see some 4x4 posts in here and with wire strung between them. That's where we used to grow our snap beans, so we've taken those down. And yesterday Patty was out here tilling. Tilling is normally my job, but my full-time job, I had something I had to do. I had to run to Jackson for a while, for most of the day actually, unfortunately. And so Patty's been out here tilling, but this is like concrete. And so, you know, again, recently we did that little video about these rows over here of mulch versus no mulch, and showed you how without mulch the row got washed away by the rain. Well, none of this over here has been covered with mulch for a long time, and it's had chickens in here just scratching the surface and beating it down, and the sun's been baking it, and so this ground is hard as concrete, and it would take forever to till it. So what I'm going to do is I've got the discs hooked up on the tractor, and I'm going to come in here with the discs on the tractor and break it down a little deeper, and it'll come up in chunks like that. But then what we'll do is take the tiller and break the clods that the discs produce down into finer dirt. And so this is something Patty got. You got this. Patty's out here now. You got this done. Was this yesterday? You did the leaves, or day before?
Maybe day before yesterday.
Maybe day before yesterday. Got the tomatoes covered with leaves. The tomato rows anyway. I'm looking at you now.
I was just going to tell them that, you know,
Go ahead.
as I was tilling this and everything, you know, can you look back that way? Like starting at that part of the garden where the boxes are, and even as you're coming this way, we've used some mulches and stuff and everything. And as we're getting further,
pretty deep originally.
Yeah, and as we get further and further this way, it's had less and less organic matter added. But I want to show you, if you really can, I don't know if you can really tell it, but this end of the garden, the bed is a lot higher than at the other end, and I was able to till this pretty nice. Down there, I mean, it's only a few inches deep. I could not get the tiller to till down, but pan over this way a little bit, Tommy. You see, this is, you know, has been the woods at one time and everything. So there have been leaves that's fallen. Plus, every year I usually try and get some leaves and just throw out here. I get my barnyard manure and stuff like that, and I dump out here. But when it's further and further that way, it's more sunshine. And I told Tommy that I feel like the rain, and then us having chickens here for so long, because we had chickens here probably back in August.
Yeah,
because
a lot of chickens too.
Yeah, because yeah, it was August because it was the first Freedom Rangers that we had here. And remember, honey had gotten into our garden and had ruined this part of our garden, so we've had chickens here for a long time.
That's right.
And I don't remember ever tilling this ground where it has been as hard as it was yesterday. I had got this one row done, and I started doing the other row, and I thought, oh, just forget it. I'm just not even going to try. I gave up. So I did. I just gave up. I was tired and hot, and I gave up.
She left it for me. So
I said, Tommy, you just have to make the rows. You just have to. So.
All right, let me. You can show them your lettuce box in just a minute, but I wanted to go show them what we got in the barn.
Okay, I'm gonna go get it on my computer.
Okay.
We gotta get soaker hoses done today.
Yeah, we got to get soaker hoses put out today. This was 10 o'clock last night. We did this, Patty. Yeah, we went inside at 10 o'clock. Look over in the corner. We've had, y'all, we got chickens coming out of our ears. And so we moved the Freedom Rangers, and we had that number of Freedom Ranger hens and a few Bielefelder roosters. We moved them over with the Bielefelder hens and roosters, and we brought the chicks out of the barn and put them in the brood pen. So we had to spread new pine shavings, we had to hang up the heat lamp, I had to hang up their feed bucket, and we had to transfer all those chicks. Those are Delaware chicks and some, I think a handful of Bielefelders and maybe Bielefelder cross. I'm not sure. I think just the Bielefelders. So we wrapped that up at 10 p.m. last night. That's what time. That's what Patty was saying. That's what time. I'm trying to fix my microphone. Give me just a minute. Hey Eli. 10 o'clock last night. We finished this and went in. So we've just got a long list of stuff that we've got to get done, and we've got to get it done before it's time to head to the to Corey's state tournament. I had to move the. We had let Honeybee and the two bucks come over in front of Mama's to have access to the grass out there for a little while, but I had to go get them back in the pine trees after I put the other big hay bale that I put out on the power line over there. And by the way, I was so tickled with Blue this morning because he came with me. He jumped right through the hot wire, and he wanted to go with me over there to where the critters were, and I was a little nervous. Not for me, but about how he would behave, and I thought that maybe he might chase the pigs or those two bucks or Honey or something. And y'all, he was perfect. I don't know if any of you got a notification. I tried to go live while we were doing that, but I just didn't have enough signal in the woods. and so it looked like it was connecting, but it never showed, the timer never started showing me how long I was online. So, and then I started getting very poor connection and whatnot. So I don't think it ever even registered. It didn't show up in my YouTube dashboard. So Patty got this done yesterday. What kind is that? All
the first 3 little rows are called ruby.
It's lettuce, right?
Yeah.
Okay, ruby lettuce.
And then the black-seeded Simpson, the next.
Ruby lettuce and black-seeded Simpson.
I'm trying to update my garden planner is what I'm doing. I haven't done it so long I done forgot how to do it.
Patty's sitting out here in the shade, updating her garden planner because some plans have changed a little bit. Boy, look at the what you call it?
Cosmos.
Shoot, Cosmos. The Cosmos plants. Man, they are just jumping up. Sunflowers are looking great. The nasturtiums are getting all big and everything.
I think the nasturtiums right here.
No. I'm just looking over there. In fact, I'll go show them, and then I'm gonna have to sign off.
That bed right here, I don't know if we showed it that bed or not. That's some more tomato plants and my eggplant.
Yeah, we did. We showed that yesterday. Patty was wondering if we showed you where we had the tomato plants in the box and the peppers. Look at those nasturtiums, and they kind of wilty a little bit because the sun is beating down hot. Sunflowers looking good. Lettuce looking good. Alderman peas are just looking superb. We're very excited about that. We had us some mustard greens for supper last night at 10 o'clock. we never eat that late. That's what Patty was talking about. It's got some tomato plants, some pepper plants. So over there, the grapevines are looking good on the Daddy Curb's Grow Arch. We got that idea from Daddy Curb's farm.
I'm having a problem here.
What is it?
Well, when I'm inside, I'm okay because I can envision which way it is, but I'm looking at my garden on here and it should be turned this way.
Oh.
And you know how I'm kind of directionally challenged, and so I'm having a heck of a time looking at my garden going this way, and it's this anyway.
Oh man. All right.
I'm kind of confusing myself.
Confusing yourself? Let me see if I can, the sun's so bright, I don't know if I can see the comments. Give me a second here.
Okay, now
Thank you guys for joining us. 27 people, that's pretty cool. Bandana Grandma, Kitty, Amanda, Eli. Hi Amber. Hey Beth. Let's see, Norma. Chastity Tucker, hey there. Yeah, Kitty, if you're talking about the soil over here in the main part of the garden where Patty was talking about we had all that mulch, it was so black. So black. Thank you, Leo. We appreciate that. Hi, Dave from Georgia. Chris, Ginger. Yeah, we've been having a break too, but that break is fixing to come to a screeching halt. I got to go mount up on the tractor. And we'll show you, you guys, you don't have to worry about it. We're going to keep you updated and I'll show you. Hey, Lisa. Wow. Hi, Angela from the UK. It's 6:50 p.m. there.
Wow.
The peas do look fantastic. We sure do hope that they make, sometimes a big, beautiful plant
But that flowers, they're gonna
gets me nervous because you never know if it's going to make. But, see, I don't know what I'm talking about. Patty says don't sweat it. It's got flowers, so that means it's going to make.
Well, I mean, barring anything happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, Patricia Skimlin. Patricia says, what about growing the peas on a trellis? That would work. And, I don't know. Patty and I have kind of kicked around the idea that over the, as we go along, we may add more and more trellises. And in fact, for the snap beans this year, where we have been running lines between poles, we're going to be using cattle panels for the snap beans this year.
yeah.
And we, Texas Prepper 2, you should go check out Texas Prepper 2's channel. Man, he uses cattle panels for everything. He's got them all over the place. And,
He's got a much bigger area.
Yeah, he's got a much bigger area too. But, it would be not very cost effective to go buy them all at once. It'd be a huge capital outlay all at once. But like this year, we won't have to buy the cattle panels for the grape trellis next year because we've already got them. And so if just as we go along, if we pick up one here or there, watch Tractor Supply when they put them on sale for 20 bucks, and just sort of add them, then eventually maybe everything that we have climbing could be climbing on a cattle panel, which would be very cool. Oh, Miss Patty's playing. Gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. I just hit the microphone, and I think I've been scratching around it, so I'm going to be really upset when I go listen to it. I keep forgetting I got it on there. And it is Don Quixote. We are so blessed to have plenty of land that nobody ever bought. Been in the family 150 years or something like that, and trust me, we know just how blessed we are. So, speaking of land, I got to go get on the tractor and get in here and bust up this dirt so we can till it and finish making garden beds, which is something we need to get done today. Before, I may have to. You're
going to get it done today.
Oh, Patty says I am going to get it done today. So there's that. All right. So thank you guys for joining us. We will keep you updated. You know we always do. And God is so good, Lisa, all the time. He treats us so much better than we deserve. And I guess I would be remiss to tell you that, today is the day we recognize that Christ was in the grave. Yesterday was the day that he went to the cross and suffered for my sin, took the punishment that I deserve. That's just astounding. And he didn't do it because I asked him to. He didn't do it, that sometimes you'll hear these songs that say he heard my cry for help and rescued me. But his grace is bigger than that, because he rescued me when I wasn't calling for help. The Bible says that Christ died for the ungodly. While we were yet sinners, the Bible says Christ died for us. It would be amazing if he responded to my plea for help and helped me, but he helped me when I didn't want help. And that's amazing grace, that he took the punishment that his enemies deserved and turned me from an enemy to a son. And I'll never get over that. And so today is the day that we recognize that, remember that he was in the grave, but tomorrow's coming. Tomorrow's coming, because death couldn't hold him. And he rose from the dead. And that validated everything he had said. It proved him to be God. And it proved every promise that he made is going to come true. And there's, I don't have time to start preaching. I listened to a great podcast yesterday. I love Alistair Begg, Pastor Alistair Begg, and I could probably listen to him. I probably would listen to him read the phone book because he's Scottish, and I love his accent. And that was Australian accent I just did. But anyway, I could just listen to him talk. But thankfully, he rightly divides the word of truth. And yesterday, in fact, if you follow me on Facebook, on my personal page, I shared it to my Facebook profile and said, listen to this before Sunday. Because he talks about the historical fact of the resurrection. Let's see, what was it? It was historical, it was something, and it was empirical. I can't remember the middle one, but it stands the test of scientific scrutiny. The resurrection happened. Christ was bodily raised from the dead, and it is historically verifiable. It's not a myth. It's not a bedtime story. And why is that important? Why am I telling you that? Well, I'm telling you that because I feel compelled to tell you that. But here's why that's important. If Christ rose from the dead, like the Bible says that he did, then you're accountable to him. You have to do something with that. You can't just say, oh, well, he was a nice man and a wonderful teacher, but not really God. That's not an option. He didn't leave you that option. C.S. Lewis once famously said, and others have said it before too, there's only three options with Christ. He was either a liar or a lunatic or Lord. So he either was the worst liar in the world because he claimed to be God. He said he would rise from the dead. Or he was a lunatic, crazy man making those kind of claims. Or he's God in the flesh. We don't have an option to say, well, he was just a kind, good man with good teachings. He didn't give us that option. He's either a liar, a lunatic, or he's Lord. And the reality of the resurrection proves he's Lord. So anyway, there ends the sermon. I need to pass the collection plate again, I guess. So thank you guys for hanging with me, and thank you for putting up with my preaching every so often. And we will see you guys again. Thanks. See ya.